greatest racetrack in the world.
We're green flag racing at the Brickyard here in the greatest race of the year.
What's going on, everybody? Caleb here, and welcome back once again here to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway here during Indy 250 week. And Indy 250 just around the corner, but we're here for the precursor race where 18 drivers take on 20 laps here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's the Freedom 50 here during 2024 Indy 250 week, and I'm really looking forward to this one. It's always usually a very exciting race. Last year's definitely had a lot of great moments. Definitely looking forward to see what happens here today. Joining me up in the booth, though, it's AG. Welcome back here.
Yes,
and very happy to have you.
Glad I'm still calling this race, at least in some capacity, because you're right. This race has always been one of the best races on the channel year after year. Went away for a couple of years. We brought it back last year, and my goodness. Tomorrow's Indianapolis 250. We are so excited for that race, of course. But here, these guys have no pit stops. It's 20 laps, pedal to the metal all the way to the finish, and it's always a great one, always an exciting one. And man, I wish they didn't get rid of the one in real life, the Freedom 100, but hey, it still lives on here in NR2003, and we've got another Freedom 50 for you here today, the day before the Indy 250. And once you know it, a guy who was supposed to be in that Indy 250 failed to qualify. Bruno Diacomo looking to get this win. That was 2 years in a row for him. You know what? Watch out for him starting on the pole here on this Freedom 50 day. But it's going to be a great race. It always is, and I'm excited to see who gets it done here on this Friday afternoon.
Definitely going to be interesting to see, and I know this is going to be a great race here today. But like you mentioned, Bruno Diacomo and that number 24 starting on pole for this one. Unfortunately failed to qualify for the Indy 250 for the second year in a row, but looking to turn his Indy 250 week around here in the Freedom 50. He's already been fast so far this Indy 250 week. He set the quickest time in main practice. Have to see what he can do here today in the Freedom 50. Might be one to watch out for here today, but yeah, like you mentioned, 20 laps, no pit stop. Hopefully it'll stay green to the end, although last year we did have an accident in the middle. But we'll just have to wait and see. Regardless of the fact, it'll be pedal to the metal, high-speed action all the way to the checkered flag. And it's going to be a fun one here today. But I think it's just about time to get these guys rolling here from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And as we do, we'll take a quick look at your starting lineup here for the 2024 Freedom 50. As before mentioned on the pole, it is the number 24 of Bruno Diacomo, starting alongside the number 4 of Will Parrish. Parrish actually started on the front row here last year. He might be another one to watch out for here in this year's race. Row number 2, we find the number 20 of Matt Tuck, starting alongside the number 7 of Reggie Fogelman. Row number 3, we've got defending Wawa Cup Series champion Drew Webb, starting alongside Isaac Nordic, making their first start here on the channel. Excited to see what he can do here today. Row number 4, we got the number 11 of Laura Chung, starting alongside the 22 of Nathan Stapleton. And rounding out your top 10, we have got the number 10 of Andrew Williams, starting alongside the number 10 of, I believe that is, not the number 10, excuse me, number 6 of Matt Hunter. Looks like everyone's rolling off okay, but AG, I'll ask you, who do you think is going to be the one to go to victory lane here in this Freedom 50?
Well, there is a set of brothers. One has won the Indy 250, and then the other's won the Freedom 50. That's Trey Smith and Landon Smith Jr. Landon Smith Jr. won this race, I believe, in 2019. I would watch out for Andrew Williams. His brother's going to be in the main show tomorrow. Of course, he won the Indy Road Course race. Logan did. Andrew Williams starts 9th in an inside lane. This is exactly the way the Williams brothers won it. Andrew winning today, Logan winning tomorrow. We'll have to see if it happens for the Wisconsin natives.
We'll definitely have to see. Well, I mean, Logan, he won earlier here in Indy 250 week at the Indianapolis Road Course. Just have to see what his brother Andrew can do here today, but here we go. The 18 entries are going to make their way off of turn number 4. Pace car is going to make the left-hand turn into the pit lane, and here we go. As they make their way down the front straightaway, the Freedom 50 here in 2024 is green as Bruno Diacomo and Will Parrish lead him to the yard of bricks. Coming back to the line to lead the opening lap, it's going to be the 24 of Bruno Diacomo holding on to the lead. Reggie Fogelman's going to slide into second. Parrish is able to get down to third. And then you got the 2 of Drew Webb and the 2-11 of Laura Chung, back there. And yeah, for the race lead, Reggie Fogelman to the inside of Bruno Diacomo, trying to take the lead away. He's got drafting help behind him from Will Parrish, as trying to form a little bit of a train on the inside. And Fogelman clear for the race lead as they go into 3. Parrish trying to follow suit right behind. And boy, it's kind of a hornet's nest back here, as they're all pretty much nose to tail on outside and inside. But coming through to begin lap number 3, it's now Reggie Fogelman out front here in the Freedom 50.
And of course, even though we have no pit stops in this race, tire wear will become an issue. And we've seen races where guys have led 18 laps in this thing before, and we'll have to see if that ends up being the case for Reggie Fogelman. Maybe he can stay up front and hold these guys off as Diacomo slips back there in the 24 machine, looking for second right there. You got the Valvoline machine. That is the number 2 of Drew Webb. And how about Drew Webb, his first ever start in an open-wheel machine? We know how good he is in the Wall Cup Series and the stock cars. Of course, he's the owner of Nicholas Samadeo and Brad Stover over in the Haas IndyCar Series. I know he'd love to get a race victory here in this Freedom 50. It'd be a huge win for him if he can pull it off.
Definitely, and running second right now. Looking pretty good here so far for Drew Webb. Laura Chung moving her way up into third. Here comes the number 6 of Matt Hunter, though, underneath the 11. And currently rounding out the top 5 is the number 15 of Jared Martin. But starting to single file out just a little bit, all the way back to Nathan Stapleton in the 22. But, well, just as I say they're filing out, they're about everybody going double file once again. But here we go. Webb is lurking right behind Reggie Fogelman. See if he wants to make a move here down the front straightaway. He's got a little bit of a run. Not going to quite go for it just yet. Going to stay tucked in behind the 7. 15. Jared Martin took a peek there under the 11 of Laura Chung. Going to take another peek underneath the 11. And meanwhile, Webb took a peek there underneath Fogelman. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. Not quite yet for the number 2. And now, now might be the time. Taking another peek. Is he going to try to go for it in turn 3? He's trying it, but just not enough room there. He's going to stay slotted in right behind the number 7. We also got the number 6, Matt Hunter, joining this battle, and Hunter's going to try to go for second now on Drew Webb.
And you know, for Matt Hunter, Jared Martin in this race tends to favor drivers who are relatively new. I mean, Stephen Colon had made a few starts in the past, of course, but hasn't had the success of some of the other drivers that were in that race last year. Obviously got the win a year ago, but we'll have to see how it all ends up shaking out for Matt Hunter. That number 6 machine looks very quick right now. You also got the New Balance machine back in there. And looking to the inside of Drew Webb, who's now slipping back at 11, looking very strong right now. Laura Chung who's been able to keep this machine in the top 5. A new player in 5th place right there.
Hey, how about Matthew Hubert?
Yeah, Matthew Hubert, he's a guy who's had a lot of success before in the Elimination Series. He's done very good in qualifying in terms of the Wawa Cup Series as of late as well. Good opportunity for him there in that 5th position.
Definitely, and Matthew Hubert's been really quick as of late, especially over in the Wawa Cup Series. He's nabbed back-to-back poles at Auto Club in North Wilkesboro. Looking to potentially get this done here today, but here comes your pick, the number 10, Andrew Williams to the inside, trying to get his way into the top 5. And for the race lead, here comes number 6, Matt Hunter, trying to get up to the race lead. He's got Laura Chung right behind him for drafting help. Webb's going to stick with Fogelman for the time being, but Matt Hunter now to the race lead here on lap number 8. And got pretty much a big drafting train now forming on the inside. And all the cars on the outside are probably going to get shuffled to the back, like Matthew Hubert, Bruno Giacomo, and I believe that is the 15. That's 15 of Jared Martin.
Tough break for Martin right
but
there.
Oh boy.
Stuck. And, this is such a short race. You want to get up front as quick as you can because we're almost halfway through this thing now. How about Laura Chung? She's been really strong in this one, trying to find a nose at the inside of Matt Hunter. Not quite enough momentum there to make it stick, and Hunter's going to hold on to it. Look at these guys. It's all jammed up there. And if I'm not mistaken, you got Jay Knapp moving his way up here, who failed to qualify for the Indy 250. Of course, was very strong in the Indy 250 last year. You put him in a situation like this, Jay Knapp could find himself in victory lane.
You also got Corey Case in the 28, making his first start here in the open wheelers. Yeah, and these guys started in the 17th and 18th spots respectively, moving their way up here into the top 5. Corey Case now going for 3rd, as Laura Chung goes for another attempt at Matt Hunter for the race lead. And they're double foul for a couple rows deep right behind our top 2, as Corey Case is going to clear for 3rd, and Jay Knapp is also trying to make his way through, but great run there through turn 1. Laura Chung is going to take the race lead away, but here comes some of our guys that unfortunately didn't make the Indy 250. Corey Case and Jay Knapp, they're trying to get a little bit of a draft together, and Case to the inside of Chung for the race lead.
And we're seeing a lot of shuffling going on up front. In years past, we've seen sometimes these guys been able to keep their car up front and dominate this race. Well, that is not the case right now. Fogelman had a good start to this race, but he slipped back now, and now the floodgates have opened. It's just continuous cycling up front. Jay Knapp looking to the inside of Corey Case. You also got Isaac Norton, first career start for Isaac Norton. And how about this for your first race? Going over 200 miles per hour, over 220 miles per hour average on these open wheel machines in Indy. We're now halfway through this Freedom 50, and Isaac Nordic is up to the 2nd position. How about that?
How about that indeed for Isaac Nordic, looking to make rumbles in his first start here on the channel. But like you said, already passed halfway through. This is a very quick race, very quick paced, and not a lot of time. So, time is already kind of running out here. But Jay Knapp, he's actually kind of pulling away from the race lead, but Isaac Nordic is being dragged with him. Got a little bit of a gap now to 3rd. 4 of Will Parrish. Matt Hunter still up here. Corey Case now side by side with Drew Webb. Stuart Gratton also now into the top 10, as well as Stapleton. Giacomo trying to make his way back up here as well. But Isaac Nordic took a little bit of a peek there, but didn't have quite enough momentum yet. We'll see what he can do down the back straightaway. Will Parrish is going to have a really good run here on the top 2. Nordic taking a peek down low once again, just not close enough just yet. See if he can maybe go for it once he gets a little bit of drafting help from behind. But Matt Hunter tried to go after Parrish there, but just didn't have enough momentum. But top 2 pulled away there, but kind of got regrouped now that Parrish and 6 of Matt Hunter has caught up. But it's been a really interesting race so far. I haven't really seen anybody pull away a lot, but starting to single file out now. Maybe potentially guys starting to get a little bit strategic as we get into the late stages of this thing.
I think the tire wear is also starting to come into effect for these guys as well, and that might play in the favor of Jay Knapp at this point, because they battle for 2nd right here. That's going to give him a bit of an advantage for the time being. Will Parrish going for 2nd place there on Isaac Nordic. And you also got Matt Hunter still in this thing as well. Drew Webb's found himself back in the top 5. You know, Corey Case looking strong. How about Stuart Gratton also there as well? Of course, it's been a while since Stuart Gratton's been in an open wheel machine. Of course, he used to be an owner in the Haas IndyCar Series. Uh-oh.
Oh, that got close.
That was close. That was close.
That was
they got
close.
3 wide there. That could have been a wreck, but thankfully they got out of it. That was tight.
Could
Stuart
have.
Gratton, a veteran driver. He knows how to not do that. And how about Manhunter once again trying to take second away, trying to close back in on our race leader.
Starting to see some of the quicker cars emerge in this race, like Matt Hunter, Corey Case, Jay Knapp. They're all kind of running up front. And even though these two kind of got shuffled out, they have found their way back up here towards the front. But 6 laps to go this time by. Time is really running out now. And with the tires start to wearing, you really want to try and get up to the front right now. But the top 6 now.
Oh, we got more 3 wide back in there.
Oh, and around goes Hubert. We got a wreck.
Oh my, what a shame there. What a
Caution
shame for
is
that,
out.
17 machine. Matthew Hubert was having a good run there and just completely got taken out in a 3 wide move. We're going to have a late race restart here, I do believe.
Think we might. Coming back to the stripe, though, it's going to be the 98 of Jay Knapp, who's going to lead him to the caution flag. And we might have a late race restart on our hands here in the Freedom 50. That is going to be crazy if that is the case.
I'm assuming you have the 4-lap caution on for this and not the 2, so if that's the case, it's going to be a 1-lap dash to the finish, just like last year's Indy 500.
Oh boy. This is going to be an interesting one either way you slice it, but a very unfortunate break there for the 17 of Matthew Hubert, who got turned in what looked like a 3 wide situation there. But goodness, this is going to be a very interesting finish here. But really quickly, we'll take a look at what brought out our first caution of the race, and we'll get y'all back to the racing action here in the 2024 Freedom 50. Well, 3 wide is usually the trouble spot here in these open wheel cars. You're seeing here 3 wide between Stapleton, Hubert, and Crown is going to result in Hubert going around in the 17 off of turn 2, and a hard shot to the outside wall for Hubert. All 4 wheels off the ground right there. And he's going to go spinning down the backstretch. An interesting accident here, as we don't usually see wrecks happen off of turn 2 that much here in these Indy cars. Usually it's a different story over on the stock car side of things, but don't usually see that here in these open wheel cars. But yeah, tough break there for Matthew Hubert. He was really having a very strong run here today. Unfortunately, that's going to put him behind the 8 ball for the remainder of the race. But this is probably going to set us up a late race restart with the number 98 of Jay Knapp out front. Just have to wait and see what he can do here at the 2024 Freedom 50.
And you're going to see here Matthew Hubert right in the middle of all that right there, and that's on Hubert trying to cut down on Roberto. But how about Laura Chung? Was literally right in front of that, actually right behind that, when Hubert was sideways 2 feet in front of her, and she avoided any contact. That is a huge moment there for Laura Chung. And Hubert, ironically, is actually going to be able to stay in the race and on the lead lap, even though he took that massive shot to the rear end. The thing about these IndyCar mods, especially the earlier ones, you can just throw them out of a cannon and they'll still be running. They takes a lot to knock one of these IndyCars out, which is quite the opposite in real life. But regardless of the fact, it's going to set up a caution. And I think Race Control decided to go ahead and do the 2-lap caution. So we're going to have, I think, 3 laps to go on the restart.
Think so. It's going to be an interesting one here. Either way you slice it. It's going to be a late race restart here in the Freedom 50 with Jay Knapp out front. We'll just have to wait and see how it all goes down. But we'll get you all back to the racing action here in the 2024 Freedom 50. We had a late race restart, just a few laps to go. Welcome back here to the Freedom 50, wrapping up our first caution of the day for Matthew Hubert in the 17 going around in turn 2. But Gonna have a late race restart here. Gonna go green with 3 laps to go. What do you think's on all these guys' mind? What do you think they're thinking? And how do you think they're going to react?
I know Jay Knapp is thinking, Caleb, why did you tell the pace car to come in now? It was only going to be 1 lap. But no, I applaud you on that move there because, this race, how short it is, should only have a 2-lap caution period anyway. So now he's going to have 3 laps to fend these guys off, which anybody really in the top 10 can actually move through the field in 3 laps and win this thing, I feel like. But Jay Knapp is in a good position. The tire wear is definitely playing in his favor. It's going to be harder for these guys behind him to make the passes, but they get together and make some moves there, get some drafting help. He could definitely be in threat to lose this race lead here. But we'll have to see how it all goes down with Matt Hunter, Corey Case, Will Parrish, and Drew Webb behind him.
We'll just have to see. And, I guess another thing to note is they are going to be spread out coming back to the green, so that could potentially play into effect as drafting comes into play. But 3 laps to go here in the 2024 Freedom 50 here as Jay Knapp leads the field back into turn number 1. Matt Hunter in the 6th. Got a pretty good restart, though. He's already trying to gain on the 98 of Knapp. Corey Case restarting in 3rd. Parrish 4th. And Drew Webb currently rounds out your top 5. But Matt Hunter in the 6th trying to get a run there on the 98 of Jay Knapp down the back straightaway as the field tries to get regrouped as quick as they can to maybe make one last charge. But oh boy, Matt Hunter had a great turn 3 there. He's taking a peek underneath Jay Knapp as they go through 4. He's got enough momentum. He's got drafting help as well. Here we go. Oh, not quite though.
We'll have to see if he dives it in.
Is he going to dive it in? Yes, he is.
Oh, and they may go 3 wide.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, Corey had an opportunity. He didn't go for it right there. But how about Matt Hunter? How about this rookie driver here in this Freedom 50? But you got Corey Case, who really wants this win. He's got Will Parrish helping him on the inside. Oh, or does he? Matt Hunter's going to clear.
Hunter clears. Case is going to slot in right behind the 6. Here comes Will Parrish in the 4, right behind Case, right to the gearbox of Matt Hunter through turn 3. He's taking a peek to the inside through turn 4. Is he going to get there? He's going to try it. He's going to try it. He's got it as they come to the white flag. 1 lap to go here in the Freedom 50. Are we going to see a last lap pass for the 2nd year in a row? Case to the point here in turn 1. Parrish right behind. Webb in the 2 trying to make something happen back there. But Corey Case out of 2 with the lead. Here comes Parrish.
Parrish is going to have some momentum. He's got Drew Webb right behind him. Jay Knapp on the inside lane as well. Will Parrish has a nose going into 3.
He's got a nose. Parrish to the bottom in 3. Webb's going to make it 3 wide.
He's going to make it 3 wide.
Not quite going to get there, but through turn 4. Parrish with the lead. They're 3 wide behind. But coming to the stripe, Webb has a run, but I don't think he's going to get there. Will Parrish wins the 2024 Freedom 50. And oh my goodness, what a finish that was.
And Will's a guy who deserves it. He's been in this race a couple of years now. And, I know he is happy about this one to finally get it done on a last lap pass there. Drew Webb, you got to give credit to him for not going 3 wide there because he could have actually taken himself and Will Parrish out, but he decided not to. Will Parrish wins the Freedom 50 in 2024. How about that?
How about that for Will Parrish? He's going to be your winner here in the 2024 Freedom 50, and like you said, a well-deserved win there for Parrish. He's been in this event for quite a while. But man, what an absolute barn burner of a finish that was. Oh, this race never disappoints. This race never disappoints, I'll tell you all that. But,
we got goodness. 5 times as much to look forward to tomorrow.
Definitely. It's going to be a good one. It is going to be a really, really good one tomorrow at the Indy 250. But, oh man, what an absolute crazy race that was. But
we're speechless now.
I'm speechless right now.
Hey, I mean, and this race always has such an excellent finish. I mean, last year was the same way when Stephen Colon won. And, when they get bunched up like that near the end of the race, and you have a mid-race caution like that, that's when things really get crazy. And Will Parrish, like I said, he started on the front row for this race last year. fell back and then didn't have a shot last year, but this time around he got it. And look at who he beat: Drew Webb, Corey Case, who's really been good over in the Sprint Series. Obviously won the Dash for Cash. Jay Knapp, a longtime IndyCar veteran. And how about, Matt Hunter, Isaac Nordic, first career start for Isaac Nordic, getting that 6th place run. But, wow, it was a fun race. Everyone finished on the lead lap, too, even after that massive hit that Hubert took. But, man, we just got more to look forward to tomorrow with 100 laps. It's going to be very interesting to see how it ends up playing out in that Indy 250 tomorrow because, they do race a bit differently in those Indy cars compared to these Indy Lights machines. So, we'll just have to see how it all ends up going down.
Definitely going to be an interesting one to watch out for. And if this race is any indication on how the Indy 250 tomorrow is going to be, it's going to be one for the ages. I will definitely tell you all that. But taking a look at your results here from the 2024 Freedom 50, Will Parrish gets the win. Drew Webb comes home in second. Still a great result for him. And Corey Case going to round out your podium. Good stuff there for his first open wheel start. And then looking through the rest of the top 10, we got Jay Knapp in 4th, Matt Hunter in 5th, Isaac Nordic in 6th. Like you said, good stuff there from those two. Bruno Diacomo comes home 7th, Andrew Williams 8th, Nathan Stapleton 9th, and Roberto Crown Jr. is going to round out your top 10. But Alex, what we got going on tomorrow here on the channel?
Well, tonight we've got the Coke 600 in the Wall Cup Series at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So we got that one first, and that's always a fun one there.
Definitely.
And you know how the Wall Cup Series has been. Hey, congratulations again, my man, on Nicholas Samvideo finally getting his first Cup Series win. It was about time for him. But then, of course, tomorrow, noon Eastern Time, we got the Indianapolis 250. Of course, Caleb's going to be the booth with our good friend Murray. Been in the booth with us many times before, of course, for the Indianapolis 250, and we are so excited to bring it to you once again for the 11th time. And you know what? It's going to be an interesting race tomorrow, that is for sure. I've heard some chattering in the paddock that they might be able to stretch the fuel a little bit more than we thought, so we'll see if that ends up being the case. It's going to be a fun one tomorrow for the Indianapolis 250, as it always is, the biggest race on the channel. And hey, Caleb, I have to thank you so much, for doing all that you've done the past couple of weeks with Indy 250 Week, especially with qualifying, that being your first time doing that. And now you know what that is like, and that is not an easy task, but you did a heck of a job with that, as you always do with everything here. And you came in clutch for me this year, and I really appreciate it. And we all get to come together tomorrow for the culmination of Indy 250 Week and the biggest race of the year. So thank you so much, Caleb, for all you've done. This is your last race of the week, of course, and I appreciate everything you've done. Of course, you'll take over the IndyCar Series back again in a couple of weeks, but man, what an Indy 250 Week it has been, as it always is. It's always so much fun, always so exciting. This race proved it, and now we got the two biggest races of the week, Coke 600, Indy 250 coming up, and it's going to be a blast. And we thank you so much for supporting the channel and just being a part of it all week long. We're so glad you all have enjoyed it, and hey, we still got the best ones yet to come, so buckle up, it's going to be good.
Definitely, it's going to be a great race. Really looking forward to it. But yeah, it's been a pleasure to help you here with Indy 250 Week. I'm very happy to have been a part of it and to make it what it is. And as always, this has just been an incredible opportunity, and I'm really excited to see where it goes from here. But thank you all so much for tuning in to today's race. Thank you, AG, for joining me up here in the booth. And I will see you all later. Y'all take care and have a good one.